Welcome to Machine Learning lecture series. This is lecture number 1. In this lecture, we will discuss about simple linear regression. Regression is used to predict the continuous output. We will first discuss the structure of algorithm. In any machine learning algorithm, if you are using Python language, then you have to follow a certain sequence. In this, the first step will be the importing of the libraries. Now, in this regression algorithm, we are using three libraries which are NumPy, Matplotlib, and Pandas. So first we'll import these libraries using the command import NumPy as NP. Then we'll import Matplotlib as import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. And third library we are using is Pandas, which can be imported using the same command import Pandas as PD. So NP, PLT, and PD, these are the keywords for that libraries. Then second step will be importing the data set. The data set we are using here is the salary underscore data.csv file. This is the CSV file which we are using as a data set, in which there are two columns, years of experience and salary, and around 30 rows. This is a company data which consists of the, the data of 30 employees of the company and their salary structures depending on their years of experience. But this is unstructured format, or it is not in certain format, and they want in certain format according to some model. So for that, as a data scientist or a machine learning engineer, we will provide them a model in which there will be some pattern. Now, according to the values present in the data set, suppose a person having 3.7 of years experience, he is getting 57,189 amount as the salary, and so on till the person having 10.5 years of experience. So these are the values present in the data set. But the company wants this information or this salary depends on particular pattern. So we have to find that pattern using regression. So how we'll find that, we'll discuss using this algorithm. So first we have to import this file using pd.read underscore csv command. So to import the libraries, we are using import libraries name and their keywords. To import a data set, we are using one library which is pandas. So pandas library can be used for importing the data set. Then we are storing this into one variable data set. Now second step will be divide the data set into input and output. We have to identify in our algorithm which is input and which is output. So in our algorithm, in this algorithm, years of experience will be our input and salary will be our output. So we are taking this years of experience as X and salary as Y. Same thing is reflected in the algorithm. Now we are using this variable dataset dot I location inside the bracket colon. Colon means all the values, comma, colon till -1. So in Python, the counting starts from 0. So this is column number 0, this is column number 1. You can go reverse order also. You can take this as -1 column, this as -2 column. So in Python, if you are using Python for the programming, you have to always start from 0. So this is column number 0 and column number 1. And if you are going reverse way, then this is -1 and this -2. Then this first value before comma indicates the rows and the values after comma indicates columns. So colon means all the rows That means we are taking all the rows which are present in the data set and all the columns till -1, means we are not including this column -1. The colon and the value represent, you have to count the values till that value, not including the value. That means all the columns we have to consider till the last column, means we should exclude the last column. The last column is salary. So this is used when there are multiple columns available in our data set. So in that case you can use this type of values for the columns. Similarly, y indicates the output. So y is equal to dataset dot iLocation in bracket all the rows comma 1. So 1 indicates your salary. So y is nothing but salary. So all the rows are present and 1 means salary. So this is your y. In case of x, I will repeat, in case of x, all the rows comma, we can write here 0 also. 0 indicates first column. So first column is nothing but the 0th column. So we can indicate 0 also. But if your data set contains more than one column as input, then in that case you can use this type of notations. You can use here 0 also, or colon till -1. That means it will take all the values till -1. It will not consider the last column. I hope you got this concept. Now we'll move towards next point. So once we divide our data set into input and output, we have to again divide the data set into two parts, which are training and testing. So this is your data set. We have divided the data set into x and y, which are input and output. So x indicates your input, which is years of experience, and y indicates the output as salary. So after this, we have to again divide this data set into two parts, training and testing. Some of the data points you have to take for the training part, and the remaining points we will take for the testing part. Why training is required in any machine learning algorithm? You have to provide the data for the training to train the model, and few data points you have to keep for testing part, on which we will test the results, we will test the prediction, right? So this is how we perform, or how we write the algorithm in supervised type of machine learning case, in which we constantly check the output. That's why it is called a supervised machine learning. Regression type of algorithms comes under supervised machine learning. We will discuss in a separate lecture what is the difference between supervised, unsupervised reinforcement. In the coming lecture series we will discuss these things, so keep visiting the channel. Now we can divide the data set into training and testing part once we divide into input and output. So after dividing into training and testing, now this is your training part, and this is your testing part. So some data of your data set you will keep for the training, and some data you will keep for the testing. So the input which we are taking for the training part, we will assign a variable of name x underscore train for that part, and the output which we are taking for the training part, we will assign variable y underscore train. Similarly, x test, which indicates the input for the testing part, and y underscore test, which indicates the output for the testing part. So these are the four variables we obtained, we are using after splitting the data set into training and testing. So for that, we are using this train underscore test underscore split class, and inside this we are splitting x and y. So as a input we are providing x comma y. Here this y indicates your output and x indicates input. Then we are keeping test size as 1 by 3. Test size indicates how many points you are keeping for the testing data points. So out of 100, in this case we are taking 1/3 of 100 for the testing. That means suppose if we are having 30 rows as a total, then out of 30 we are taking 20 for the training part and 10 for the testing part. If you are taking this test underscore size as 1 by 3, then random state is the value used for the backend processing. So sometimes uh, the algorithms required the random processes at the backend side. So for that purpose, we have to assign some numeric value to this. So random state we are keeping as 0. We can take 1, 10, and so on, some numeric value, but it will not affect your program. So the train underscore test underscore split function will generate the result. That result is stored in these four variables, as I discussed: x train, y train, x test, and y test. So we are training the machine using this x train and y train. For example, just I will use one example here. Suppose there are two persons, A and B, and they want to go from one place to another place, and one person is taking 2 hours to reach from, suppose this is point P and this point Q. So person A is taking 2 hours to reach from P to Q, and person B is taking 2.5 hours to reach from P to Q. So we have to tell the machine that to go from P to Q, it will take nearly 2 to 3 hours based on the values obtained from A and B. Because we know already that if A is going from P to Q, he is taking 2 hours of time, and if B is going from P to Q, he is taking 2.5 hours of time. So this information we have to provide to the machine first. So this is called as training part. Once training is done, then suppose third person wants to go from P to Q. So the ideal time he should take between 2 to 3 hours. So this we can tell to C person. So this is called as prediction. So for once we are finished with training part, we can go for the testing. And suppose that person is taking 3.5 hours. That means our prediction is uh, it is wrong somewhere it is wrong, right? So this is how our machine learning algorithm will work. So first we have to do training. We have to provide the machine, we have to provide some data to the machine, which is actual data. So that comes under training, and then we will predict the things, and we will compare between prediction and actual values. That means first we have to provide these inputs for the training. Some inputs we have to provide, some outputs we have to provide to the machine, and we should tell machine that this is how the system should work, this is how the model should work according to this. So build the prediction based on this model. You have to tell the machine that this should be the pattern: x train, y train. If X train is the input, Y train should be the output. And then we will provide the machine the new input, which is X test, testing input. Once we provide this X test to the machine will generate the result. So that result is will store in one variable, which is y underscore pred. This is predicted result, which is generated by the machine. According to dataset, we have actual result also, which is y underscore test, which is actually present in the dataset. Now we'll compare between these two values, which is y pred, the predicted part, which is the output from the machine, and the actual output, which is present in the dataset, y test. So if they are same, that means our algorithm is working properly. It is giving good accuracy. The algorithm is having good accuracy. So this is how our algorithm will work in case of regression. So we are using sklearn dot model underscore selection, import train underscore test underscore split. Then we are splitting the dataset into 4 variables: x train, x test, y train, y test. Once we perform the division of the dataset, then we'll go for the actual training part. Now in this case we are considering regression case, so that's why there is inbuilt class which is linear regression. So this class we have to use if we are solving, or if you are building the model based on classification, the class will get changed. So we'll discuss this various algorithms in further lectures of this machine learning series. Now in next step we will use this class, which is linear regression. Again, it is case sensitive. So while writing in the code, you have to take care about the name of the class. So L and R is capital. So linear regression. To access the elements of this class, we will use the object, which is regressor. We will assign the name regressor and is equal to linear regression, aim, opening and closing bracket. So to access the elements of this class, we are using this object. We are assigning one object here. Actually, this is the part of object oriented programming. Now, as I said earlier, we have to provide the machine some input and some output while training. So for that purpose, we will use dot fit command. So dot fit command is used to train the machine, and to train the machine, we have to provide x underscore train and y underscore train as inputs. So this is training part, and testing part or prediction part is done by dot predict command. So dot predict command is used for prediction purpose. So same object, which is regressor, we are using here regressor dot predict, but input we will give only one, because while training we have to apply both input as well as output, but while testing we have to provide only input. So machine will generate its own output, which we will store in one variable y underscore pred, and then you have to check whether that y underscore pred, these values are equal to y underscore test, because y underscore test is the actual values and y underscore pred are the predicted values. So this is very important command dot predict. It is used for the prediction purpose, and dot fit command for the training purpose. Then next we have to use this matplotlib library, keyword plt. So plt dot scatter. So in this case, this is your one variable, which is your y, which is your experience, years of experience, and this is your input x, which is salary. And according to this a data set. So these are the values are according to the data set, which are actual values, the red points. So plt.scatter command, so it will generate this type of structure or this type of plotting, where it will give the scattered graph of the actual data points present in the data set with color red. So color we are assigning here is red. So red points indicate the actual points present in the data set. Then the next command is plt.plot. In in the bracket we are using x underscore train and regressor dot predict x underscore train, and color is blue. So it will generate a line which is prediction line with color blue. So this is our actual output. So if any person which is having some years of experience is joining the company, so company should actually tell what amount of, sorry, here I should take salary and here as experience, because x is nothing but our input, which is experience, and y is salary. So based on the years of experience, the person should get the amount of salary. So this is about the prediction. Suppose the person, this is experience 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, and some salary amount 10k and so on. So person, suppose the new person wants to join the company is having 7 years of experience, so he should get the amount with respect to the point present in the regression line. So this amount maybe 50k for example. So person having 7 years of experience should get 50k like this. So this is about the regression line blue, and then we'll plot the graph by using title. We'll assign the title to the graph as salary versus years of experience. On x-axis we are plotting years of experience, on y-axis salary, and using plt.show we can plot the result. So I will just run this code. So this is the output in which we have years of experience and salary. So these red dots indicates the actual values. So we are running this on test set. So test set is having less amount of data points. That's why this number of points are less, because we have kept the data the test size as 1 by 3. So that's why out of 30 values which are present in our data set, only here 10 values are present. And this line indicates the regression line, which is predicted line, which is our prediction. So it is predicting accurately. Somewhere the points are less, that means the actual values present in the data set and the predictive values are same. In this case, for 4 years of experience, less than 3.9 years of experience, it is showing predicted and actual values same. For 5.7 or 8 years of experience, the actual value should be here. This should be the actual value because it is on the predicted line. So actual salary uh, should be given to that person is less than 80,000, but the company is giving more than 80,000. So there is, this is the gap, which is nothing but the error, between actual values and predicted values. Similarly, here it is predicting correctly. At this point also, the actual and predicted value is nearly same. At this point, it is slightly less. Actually, it should be here. So that person should get more salary, but it is actually that person is getting less salary. And at this point, again, it is nearly same. So that means the error between the 2 points we have to identify. And the mathematics we are using here is the simple mathematics. Y is equal to mx plus c. As you know, we are talking about linear regression. So the simple linear line equation is y is equal to mx plus c. In this case, y is nothing but your salary, m is the slope of the line, x is the input, which is years of experience, and c is the constant, the minimum amount. So here some minimum amount is there. When your y is 0, your output is 0, your input is 0, that means this x value is 0, and there is no slope, still you are getting some output. So that point is nothing but your c. So this c. So y is equal to, we can write this as salary is equal to m is nothing but the slope. So suppose we consider 2 points on this axis, and then we will draw the respective lines on the regression part with respect to these 2 points. So this is nothing but the slope, right? So this is slope, and x is nothing but your input, which is years of experience. And as I discuss, the c is nothing but the constant value, some value, the minimum value the company should provide if the experience is 0. Means for the fresher, some quantity, some amount as a salary amount we have to provide to that person. So that is nothing but your c, constant. So the regression will find the minimum distance between the points. That means it will draw multiple amounts of line in the back end side, and it will find the optimum line having sum is equal to, it will find the difference between actual and predicted and its square. As I said, there are two types of points. One is actual point as per the data set, and one is predicted point as per our predicted line. So this is the difference. So it will take all such differences for all the points which are present in the data set, the testing data, and then it will take the square of these differences, and then it will find the sum of all such square of differences. Then it will find a line having minimum sum. So that line will be treated as the final line, which is regression line. So it will go in number of iterations. It will draw multiple points, multiple lines, regression lines in the backend, and then it will find such a line which is optimal line, in which the sum of the difference, the square of the difference between the actual and predicted points. Now this is your actual point, which is according to dataset, and this is predicted point. So it will find the difference and its square, and then it will take sum of all such differences. So here again, this should be the actual point, and this should be the predicted, this is the predicted point. So all such differences and its square, and then its sum. So the line which is having minimum of this sum will be treated as final line, which is regression line. So the goal of this algorithm is to find such optimum line which is having minimum sum of the differences between actual and predicted. That means it should contain the maximum amounts of actual points. That line should go through the maximum amounts of points. That is the target of this algorithm, so that our algorithm, our model is linear model, we can say, and it will predict the salary linearly according to the years of experience, so that if any new person join the company, he will or she will get the salary according to the model which we have developed using this machine learning algorithm. For more lectures, keep visiting the channel. We will discuss multiple machine learning algorithms in this machine learning series. Keep visiting our Electron ITS YouTube channel, and if you like the video, please subscribe the channel. In the next lecture, we will discuss about the classification algorithm. Thank you.